the often overlooked positive side of social media. What healthy tech use actually looks like. Digitally, feeling connected and benefiting from positive social comparison. Let me check this flourish. I said, let me check it. Flourish. Social comparison online can inspire well-being, especially with similar peers and inspiring content. Social media can strengthen friendships and support, enhanced by parental involvement and digital skills. Yes, social media poses many challenges. They are designed to keep us hooked and release the neurotransmitter dopamine that makes us spend way more time on it than intended to. And yes, specifically for young female adolescents. Image-based platforms can significantly impact body image and self-esteem, but social media can also lead to digital flourishing, inspiration, feelings of loving connection, and social support. Do these positive effects make up for all the negative ones? Probably not. But thinking about the problems from a solution-oriented, positive framework can broaden the ways in which we can think about solving such issues. That is, in addition to pushing for phone-free schools and norms to push the age limit for social media use to 16 years, as proposed in Jonathan Haidt's new book, The Anxious Generation. We can think about what healthy and nourishing technology looks like that fosters well-being, resilience, and character strengthens in young adults. We need to know what healthy tech use actually looks like to foster it. Framework of positive psychology. Ways in which we can live our best lives rather than in the absence of illness. Over the past 10 years, I have explored ways in which media in general, as well as new media such as social media and computer mediated communication can lead to happiness and fulfillment for ourselves, as well as prosociality. Let me check this one here. Prosociality and greater connectedness to others. Here are 3 key insights from positive media psychology. Number 1, young Americans do digitally flourish. With a sample representative of the American population, my recent research revealed that younger individuals 18 to 34 perceive themselves to flourish more than older individuals, even when controlling for the amount of time spent communicating online in general. Young adults specifically indicated feeling more connected when communicating digitally and engaged in positive social comparison more so than older adults. The later finding specifically speaks against a lot of earlier research and press releases for that matter that showcase the determinants of online social comparison for well-being. But if we look closely, more recent evidence accumulates that indicates positive well-being effects from social comparison processes online. Number 2, social comparison online can lead to inspiration and positive well-being effects. A recent review in the role of social comparison on social media from one of my colleagues from the University of Nuremberg, I think, shows that social comparison can lead to well-being for specific people under specific conditions. For example, One of my own studies showed that when college students share inspiring content on Facebook with others, over time they feel more love and compassion toward others. In another study, we found that inspiring social media and online video use, but not overall time spent on social media, was positively related to everyday experiences of gratitude or vitality and pro-social motivation and behaviors. Similarly, research from the Sheffield Institute in the UK further shows that social comparison on Instagram is more likely to lead to inspiration when adolescents compare themselves to similar others instead of unachievable influences. Let me check a word that I want to see. This one here. Let me check it.
Vitality.
Vitality. What am I? Influences. Thus, one of the conditions for whether social comparison may lead to positive or negative effects also stems from content we consume and the people we follow. So, let's keep in mind social comparison is not always bad, and young adults do experience inspiration online that is oftentimes, I don't know why they
Oftentimes
overlooked. Oh. Number 3. Social media strengthens teens' friendships more so than it harms them. We are living in a digitized world, and while us all else picked up the home phone to talk to us for hours in our room, today teens do this on their mobile device. In a Pew Research study from 2022 that surveyed US teens 13 to 17 years of age, 80% say that social media makes them more connected to what's going on in their friends' life. 71% say they have a place where they can show their creative side, and 67% say they like that they have people on social media who can support them through tough times. Moreover, a teenager's mindset matters. The Pew study also revealed that those who believe social media has a general positive effect on their peers also experience more positive personal experiences than those that believe social media has an overall negative effect on their peers. Such a positive outlook on technology can be influenced by a multitude of factors. But specifically for young teenagers, parents play an active role in their kids' digital lives. In fact, parental involvement can be the deciding factor whether a teen digitally flourishes or not. In a study I co-authored that was just published last month in April 2024 in the Journal of Child Development, we tracked adolescents 11 to 21 years of age, average age 15, digital flourishing for a year, and found that for half of the sample, the digital flourishing score was high to begin with and remained mostly stable over time, with slight increases in positive social comparison. For the other half of the sample, digital flourishing was lower to begin with, and specifically self-control decreased over time. What differentiated the two groups was that the first, highly flourishing group had parents with high digital skills and a keen investment into their teenagers' tech life. Don't get me wrong, I am no denier of the problems that social media brings, and I'm all for new I think, regulations and other initiatives put forth by admirable institutions such as the Center of Human Technology and the Digital Wellness Institute. But when we approach these problems from a positive psychology perspective, we might discover resources and strength in the consumer and tech platforms themselves that we can leverage to avoid or lessen the harm and promote thriving. Okay. Well, I think I have a time to read another article, which that I want to, think like a fact checker, the skill most people don't use. I think I'm gonna read this one here. I hope there is no ad here. Think like a fact checker, the skill most people don't use. Lateral reading helps you judge online information more accurately. Key points. Fact checkers verify claims by consulting multiple sources, not just by reading a page's content. Learning lateral, I think it's lateral. Let me check it.
Lateral.
Lateral. Learning lateral reading helps people spot false or biased info more accurately online. Checking a source bias, funding, and it's funding or finding? I think funding and transparency strengthens media literacy skills. Ever found yourself scrolling through a new article, wondering if it's actually legit or just cleverly disguised nonsense? You're not alone. With so much information and misinformation online, figuring out what to trust can feel overwhelming. But professional fact checkers have a trick up their sleeves. And it turns out it's not about knowing more, but reading differently. Okay, what skills separate professional fact checkers from everyone else? A study investigated this and found that professional fact checkers detect false and biased information by using lateral reading, quickly verifying, consulting multiple reputable. Let me check this one. I think reputable sources. In contrast, the study found that people who were not professional fact checkers, college students, and historians, relied on vertical reading, evaluating websites based on their appearance or content alone. Only looking at the article itself made them more suspectical, I think? Well, let me check it. Skeptical. Susceptible. Okay, made them more susceptible to false information. This study is part of a growing body of research showing how teaching lateral reading significantly improves the ability to assess online credibility. How to do lateral reading. Number 1, stop and identify the source. Pause and ask yourself, who created this information and why should you trust them? For example, a health claim from a reputable medical journal versus a blog post selling supplement without scientifications. Number 2, open multiple tabs. Search for information about the author, publication, or organization. See if they have a history of spreading false or biased information, or if they are recognized as credible experts. Cross-check claims. Look for cover age of the same topic from other reputable sources. For example, Reuters, I think Reuters. Yep, let me check it.
Reuters,
Reuters. Example, Reuters and Associated Press. You can use this tool as a guide to identify biased news outlets. Okay. Compare their reporting and see if there is a consensus. Let me check this word.
consensus,
Consensus. Number 4, use fact-checking sites. Websites like PolitiFact and FactCheck.org can help verify or debunk claims. Cross-checking debunks across different fact-checking sites can further improve accuracy. Well, I don't think I'm gonna trust these websites to use them to check other things, because you don't know who made this website itself. So it makes no sense to me. Number 5, apply the SIFT method or SIFT. Stop, investigate, find or trace. Stop and reflect before sharing or believing the information. Investigate the source using lateral reading. Find better coverage from reliable sources. Trace the information back to its original context to avoid distorted claims. Stop and reflect before sharing or believing the information. Investigate the source using lateral reading. Find better coverage from reliable sources. Trace the information back to its original context to avoid distorted claims. Value checking, adding context to source evaluation. In addition to lateral reading, value checking is another strategy that helps assess the credibility of a source, identifying its potential biases and underlying values. For example, a news site funded by a political group may frame climate change differently from a peer-reviewed scientific journal. Knowing this helps you weigh the source reliability. It's similar to lateral reading, but focuses on examining factors such as ideological stance. Does the source have a known political, cooperate, or social agenda? Let me check this word here.
corporate,
Corporate or social agenda. Funding and affiliations. Who funds the organization, and could this influence their reporting? Transparency. Does the source clearly disclose its methodology? Let me check this word before I go crazy. Methodology. Corrections, policy, and sources. Accountability. Does the source correct errors and respond to criticism? Don't know. Value checking complements lateral reading by ensuring that the sources used for verification are credible and transparent together. These techniques help users navigate the online information landscape with greater confidence and accuracy. Finally, it's important to be mindful of our own ideological biases and maintain a diverse set of social identities to decrease our vulnerability to misinformation. Enhancing media literacy combined with awareness of social biases provides a powerful safeguard against believing false information. Learning to read literally and evaluate the values behind our sources isn't just for professional fact checkers. It is something all of us can do to better navigate today's information landscape. These habits aren't about cynicism, I think. Cynicism. They are about staying curious and careful. With a few intentional strategies, we can become more confident in what we trust, more mindful of our biases, and less likely to be misled. And in a world where false claims often outpace the truth, those skills matter not just for us, but for everyone we inform, influence, and interact with. This post also appears on Misguided, the newsletter. Well, we don't know. I don't know you. How can I trust you? Matthew Fasciano, PhD, is a postdoctoral researcher at the University of Notre Dame in the computer science and engineering department. Well, I can't trust him too. So that's been said. Is there a better way to fight misinformation? Don't know. Fake news. Small tools have a big impact on spotting misinformation.